box is meant to be opened, especially the one that whispers your name in the dark. Welcome to a place where silence screams and shadows breathe. Welcome to the world titled The Shadow of the ChestSubtitle. It wasn't the chest that was haunted. It was what came out of IT Episode 1, Hollow Pine, where silence screams. In the forgotten corners of northern America, there was a village named Hollow Pine, a place so remote it was absent from most maps. Nestled deep within fog-covered forests and beside a quietly flowing river, the village felt like it had been severed from time. Only 2 houses remained. In the first lived old Grandpa Thomas, Grandma Emily, and their orphan grandchildren Jason 11 and Lavra 9. The second house stood miles away, forever locked and abandoned except for strange lights that flickered inside at night, as if someone stood silently behind the curtains, watching. Grandpa Thomas was a quiet, stern man. Every evening, he'd walk the edge of the fields with an oil lantern in hand, muttering unknown prayers, always ending up at the riverbank where he'd stare into the dark waters. Upon returning, he would check the basement door, locking it with a thick iron latch and sprinkling salt all around it. Jason and Lavra often sensed a presence in the house, shadows that moved when no one was there, whispers under the bed, and cold air brushing their necks when windows were shut tight. Lavra once whispered, "Jason, that boy under the tree, he was staring at me again." But every time Jason looked, there was nothing, just the wind and swaying trees. Then one night, Lavra had a dream. A rusted chest whispered to her from the darkness, "Come ... open me. I'm waiting for you." Episode 2, The Locked Basement. The basement door was always locked. Symbols were drawn in black across the wood, and lines of salt bordered the threshold. It was clear something was sealed inside. One afternoon, while Grandma was in the kitchen and Grandpa tending to the fields, curiosity overtook the kids. Quietly, they tiptoed downstairs. The air grew colder with each creaking step. At the bottom, hidden beneath a thin sheet, sat an ancient chest, rusted, engraved with scratched letters that read, "Don't open unless you're ready to be watched." Surrounding the chest were black candles. They weren't lit, but they weren't extinguished either, as if time had paused around them. Jason reached out. Just as his fingers brushed the lid, the basement door slammed shut with a thundering bang. The light flickered, and both kids screamed. When the door opened moments later, Grandpa Thomas stood there, his face pale with fury. "What have you done?" he whispered hoarsely. "It's awake again." Episode 3, The Chest Breathes. That night, strange things began happening. Finger marks on glass windows, wet shadows on walls, cold gusts moving through sealed rooms. Jason woke up to find a bird's beak on his pillow, black, moist, freshly severed. Grandma held Lavra tightly, reciting prayers Jason didn't understand. Grandpa relit the basement candles, but they sputtered and died as if something had blown them out from inside. From his bedroom window, Jason saw a girl standing by the old pine, barefoot, pale and staring back at him with motionless eyes. Her lips moved slowly. "You've woken it now, it watches you." Episode 4, When Shadows Speak. The next morning, the front door creaked open on its own. Grandpa checked every lock. His hands trembled as he pulled out a small mirror and stared into it. Then he muttered, "The chest is no longer empty." Grandma marked Jason's palm with a symbol using a burning herb paste. His hand stung sharply and he winced in pain. "This will protect you," she whispered. That night, the whispers returned. This time, they came from the river. Jason couldn't believe what he was hearing. The voices whispered his secrets, his deepest fears. How could they know? Lavra dreamed of the girl again. "If you open the door again, I will come out forever." Episode 5, The Marked Mirror. The next day, Jason went to wash his face. As he looked into the mirror, his heart nearly stopped. Behind him, a tall, distorted shadow stood motionless, no face, just a towering shape. He spun around, empty. On the mirror, written in foggy breath, were the words, "One by one they will be mine." Grandma wept when she saw it. "You've been marked. Now it's not just about you. We must protect all of us." That night, Lavra sleepwalked to the basement. She touched the chest and instantly collapsed, eyes wide, unblinking, lips muttering a language no one understood. The next morning, her eyes were different. Episode 6, Eyes Not Human. Laura's eyes now reflected nothing, not light, not fear, not life. When she spoke, her voice echoed as if someone else was speaking through her. Grandpa, you locked him away, now he will lock you inside. Grandpa attempted to burn the basement. He poured oil, but as the flames started, they vanished instantly, smothered by unseen hands. From the woods, a massive tree cracked and fell, revealing a blue glow beneath the soil. Grandpa stepped back. The door has opened. Episode 7, Nearing Death. That night, Jason awoke and found himself walking against his will. His feet moved on their own toward the basement. As he reached the stairs, he felt a presence press on his chest. A cold, wet breath whispered into his ear, "Sleep and never wake up." Grandma burst in, chanting frantically. A gust of light flared from the doorway and the shadow retreated. Grandpa looked at the clock. "We have until tomorrow night, then it will be too late." Episode 8, The Sacrifice. From the back of the attic, Grandpa retrieved an ancient book, The Watchers of the Chest. It described one final way to stop the shadow: blood sacrifice of someone related to the woken soul. Grandpa didn't hesitate. "He's inside me now, must take him with me." Grandma sobbed. Jason clung to him. "You have your whole life," Jason cried. Grandpa smiled. "That's why I must give mine." Episode 9, The Final Scream. That night, the house trembled. Shadows crawled across the ceiling. The wind howled like the cries of 100 trapped souls. Grandpa knelt before the chest, slicing his palm open. As his blood touched the surface, the chest began to scream, not from wood or metal, but from something inside. One by one, the shadows pulled back into the chest, and then Grandpa Thomas vanished with them, sucked into the void. The lid slammed shut. Silence. Episode 10, Quiet again, but not empty. The chest now lies buried beneath the basement, sealed in salt and stone. Laura's eyes are normal again, mostly, but sometimes she sits by the river for hours unmoving, whispering. Jason still wakes up to scratching under his bed, and beneath the floorboards of his room, etched in darkness, are the words, "One by one they will be mine."